Israel. I am priest and officer Izar of the I.S.U.P.K. Started in 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. You know what I mean? We are under Commanding General Yahanna. To the brothers, we say Shalom, Yahweh Shemar Shabrakatah. To the sisters, Shalom, Yahweh Shemar Alatham Ba'Shem Yahushai. And if your head is covered, we'll say Shalom, Lord in Christ. All right, today is the Brotherhood class. You know what I mean? It's crazy how today in the world we have no more brotherhood, no more sisterhood. You know what I mean? It's just incredible what's going on in the world today, because we done lost ourselves. We don't know, like the Bible says, we have forsaken ourselves. You know, we doing everything we think is right. We following every culture, every which way the commercial tells us to do. You know what I mean? I didn't even know I like sports cars until I seen this cool movie back in the 90s. Right? That's a different example, but everything like we choose, we like, we agree with, our political views is in a way dictated by what we see on TV, what we hear and follow in the news, so-called popular culture. You know what I mean? And we, as followers of Christ, in traditional tongue, Yahawashah, followers of the Most High, we have our own way. We have our own culture. We follow a different path, ancient ways that's been established before us hundreds, thousands of years ago. And, here at the School of Universal Practical Knowledge, we are tasked to bring you that knowledge. Salak, is anyone on the line? On a conference call. Now, you can look at what's going on in the world today. Things are so crazy. You know what I mean? Gas price is now at $4.99. You know what I'm saying? It was just projected to be at $6.20 coming up shortly. You know what I mean? We just can't catch a break. We work hard, to pay the bills, put food on the table. You gotta take your kids to daycare and find time on the weekends to spend time with your family, your loved ones, your wife, your husband. And we gotta deal with $6 gas prices. You just ask yourself sometimes, how much can you bear? How much can we take? You know what I mean? It would be a lot better for us to manage these difficulties, these problems, these challenges that we have if the world had brotherhood. We had sisterhood. You know what I mean? That's just something that we don't see very often in the world, unless you are in I.S.U.P.K, the truth, home of the truth. You know what I mean? Where brotherhood and sisterhood is a tradition. Okay, it's our culture. You know what I mean? That's just our Khan. Who's this? Yahweh Shema, Alatham Ba'Shem Yahushai. What's going on, sis?
I'm so wild, sir. How are you?
Oh, sorry, Christ. The water, sis. Anybody else on the line? right? Yeah, you know, it's crazy that into this day and age, the you know what? On my way here, I'm getting ready to get on the I-675, head to you know what I mean, head on over here, and there's this crazy guy in a Honda Accord, right? He just stopped his car out of nowhere, and he's gonna make a left turn, waiting for oncoming traffic. So I move out of the way. I continue driving. I didn't speed, and he just changes his mind out of nowhere. He's not turning anymore, and he just zooms. I see him speeding, but I'm not gonna play that game. I keep my foot off the gas. I'm just cruising, and he cuts me off just to get to the red light, making a right turn. So that's the spirit of the world. You know what I mean? The Edomite, even though he's not hungry, he doesn't even like chicken, he's allergic to peanut butter, he's gonna run, fight, scream, battle you, take your chicken that he doesn't like. He's gonna take a peanut butter sandwich, which he's allergic to, just to throw it away. Just be like, you know what? I don't like peanut butter. He's gonna throw it away, you know. But as long as he takes it from you, he's happy. He's done his evil deed for the day, right? And we as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we should not follow the ways of the heathen, right? Because the way they're with leads to death. You know what I mean? And so many times I see my people, we rushing, we driving crazy, just to catch a red light, cutting people off. Edomites, you cut off the Edomite in a pickup truck, he's gonna brandish his shotgun. You know what I mean? He's gonna show it to you. He's gonna wave it. Hey, buddy, my Second Amendment rights. He's gonna wave his shotgun, and he's gonna let you know he's not pleased with you cutting him off, driving, and he's gonna be driving crazy. You know what I mean? And then we do the same thing, try to fit in. We drive crazy. We speak, you know what I mean, in ways that unbecoming of us. That's not our culture, and we get shot. We get pulled over. You know what I mean? Just for trying to do what the oppressor does. But we find out the hard way, and it work that way. All right, let's go to 2 Corinthians 6 and 17. All right, if anyone got it, let us know.
That's 2 Corinthians 6:17. The book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 6, verse 17. Wherefore come out from among them, and be ye separate, said the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you.
Most High in Christ. Okay. Yeah, what's up the water, Adawan? Most High in Christ. You know what I mean? We're not to follow the heathen, our oppressors. We're to come out of them like people, as we are instructed by the Most High power. You know what I mean? How about Shem Yahushua, right? So, you know, when we try to do all these crazy things, we trying to flow like the oppressor does. You know what I mean? Trying to smoke weed, ganja, be a dreadhead, Rastafarian, like, you know, the East Indians do. It don't work for you, man. And it's sad we gotta learn the hard way. But you know what I mean? We We gotta stop being hard headed. I had to learn myself. You know, it ain't easy. It ain't something you plan to do. You know, I hear so many times, you know, a young child has a dream. They want that knight in shining armor. They want a prince, like watching all these Disney movies. But often, you know, you got to learn. You know, there's like Meghan Markle. That ain't that's not real love. You know what I mean? Because love is what we learn here in the school: brotherhood, sisterhood. You know what I mean? Like they say, I got you. I remember back in the day. It's an old little joke folks used to say. Man, you got my back? Yeah, I got your back. Way back. You know, that's like a little joke people used to say. But on the real, they ain't joking. They don't got your back like that. I remember a lot of times they used to have a little a trust test. Is what they call it. You have two friends stand next to each other. One is standing behind you, and they can say, "Hey man, lean back, fall, and I'll catch you." And you lean back, and you hitting the ground. You know what I mean? You can't trust these people sometimes. A lot of times, you know, because they don't have no brotherhood. They don't have no sisterhood. You know what I mean? They want what you got. You know? Like what was that movie, American Gangster? What, T.I.'s character, the baseball player? Frank Lucas told his, I think his nephew, he told his nephew, "Hey man, go to school, study, be a baseball player, you're gonna be a big star." And he could have been a big star, gotten millions of dollars, fame, recognition, retired early, and don't have to work for the rest of his life. He could invest his money and live well, right? But that's not what he wants. You know what he wants? So, and this was a movie situation, scenario, but we understand there's truth in it. You know, this drug dealer, Kingpin, told his nephew, you know, "Hey man, go to school, learn, study, play baseball." And he said, "Nah, Uncle Luke, I want what you got." Like, that's how people's destroyed. You know what I mean? We think like being Frank, back in the day, you know, it was Frank Barnes. Now people want to be like Future. You know what I mean? They want to be like Future or whoever else, Takashi 64, whatever it is, Nintendo 64. I don't know what the hell. Takashi 69, right? People want to. We want to follow everybody else's culture except our own. You know what I mean? And that's just it's unfortunate. You know what I mean? So let's go to and the reason that is, you know, you're not born that way. That's how people are raised. You know, you form your beliefs based on your nurture and your nature, right? How you know your parents taught you, what friends you hang out with. They used to say a while ago, eagles don't fly with turkeys, right? So you gotta separate yourself from these people. You know what I mean? Like the so-called LGBT, elemental P, XYZ, X-Men, whatever, you know what I mean? That alphabet community, they want to say, oh, they were born that way. You know, they're born that way. It's not because there's 1,000 commercials. It's not because they're pushing billions and trillions of dollars in marketing, you know what I mean, and benefits for people to be that way. It's not that at all. You know what I mean? And now you see this past few years, right? That this new generation, what I mean, it's what 90s all the way to today is completely different than the previous generation. It used to be 0.1% of teenagers identified as LGBTQ, P, whatever, plus, right? Plus, whatever. So, but now is a huge increase. There's 100% increase in it. What happened? So you're telling me 30, 20, 30, 40 years ago, they were not born that way, but now they're born that way. So is this LGBTQ an act of evolution? Is that what they're trying to tell us here? Our kids just evolved into homosexuals. They just started painting their hair pink, right, out of nowhere, right? And that's nonsense. That's crazy. We all know it don't work that way. You know what I mean? Like the other day, it was looking up on old cars. It was like real popular back in the 50s, 60s, what have you. The teenagers, Edomites, of course, because we ain't really have it like that. But teenagers and just car guys, in general, they would have fins on their cars, not just Cadillacs, but Chevys. They had like fins at the back of the car, like real cool. You know what I mean? That was the culture back then. You know what I mean? Back in that time, even toward going into the 70s and the 80s, most car guys, you know what I mean? Most guys, they knew how to change a tire. They knew how to change the oil in the motor. And it was very popular to drive a stick shift, right? Could be 4-speed, 5-speed, whatever, what have you. Nowadays, nobody does that. So were they born car guys? Were they born to change the oil, right? And I'm looking at all these. You look at some pictures from the 50s, even as far as the 80s. 90% of any picture, any person you see from that time had no tattoos. It was very rare. Only weirdos. It was like a weird culture. Gothic. People were doing mosh pits. You jump off into the crowd and do a mosh pit and just shake your head, bang your head against the wall until you bleed, on drugs. That's the people who are having tattoos all over, wearing all black and chains, wearing like neck collars with spikes, weirdos, right? That's who wore tattoos. But now, you know what I mean? Everybody's got it. You're gonna tell me you were born that way? You were born to have, like this Edomite had $100,000 worth of tattoos in his body. He was covered in ink from head to toe. One other guy, he had tattoos in his eyelids. One in his nose, inside his nose, one tattooed his tongue. He said that was the worst pain he ever encountered. Why? Oh, he's born that way, that's all. He identifies as a tattoo gender. Okay? But we all know it ain't that. Okay, you ain't born that way. That's this new culture. You know what I mean? Like you look at, fine art. You like the Mona Lisa, so-called fine art, right? Just Edomite on a picture. But the Mona Lisa, they believe that to be the pinnacle of art. The best you can buy. Well, you can't buy it, but you know what I mean? That's like the best art for them. You're not gonna take the picture down and put like hearts and gigglies, smileys and all over her face and neck. You would ruin that work of art, right? You look at a brand new Mercedes, a nice car, BMW, or Ferrari, $100,000 Ferrari, red, cruising down the street with like smiley faces and skulls on it. A Rolls Royce with a butterfly in the back, a stamp trap, so-called. You won't even think about it. That's just nuts. But the most beautiful creature in the world, Black, Hispanic, and Native American woman, all right, Most High in Christ. I say give that a hand. Give the sisters a hand. Ain't nothing better than the Black, Hispanic, and Native American woman. Even with the attitude, I'm like this. I'll be like, okay, yeah, I understand. Or really, you want to buy that $300 bag? Sure you do. Am I buying it? I ain't buying it. But you know, you go through it. You deal with the sister. You put up, or you know, you gotta know how to manage the situation. That, you know, we taught here in the school of UPK, right? You manage the situation, and Lord willing, you go home and you kiss and make up, if you know what I mean. You know, keeping it PG-13. You go home and you handle your business, and you give her the business, right? It's a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? You know, it might be tough dealing with our sisters sometimes, because they in the world, they stuck, you know what I mean? I say in the world, not in the truth. You're in the truth, the Lord is with you. You know what I mean? Most High in Christ. The Lord is with you, get you you know what I mean, someone that's gonna be an asset to your spirit. But in the world, often we gotta deal with these, what we call crazy women, or crazy ass females, right? But ain't nothing better than being with, you know, a sister of your own kind. You know what I mean? But in the world, they teach you, hey man, go ahead and, you know, go to the strip club, you know what I mean? Go to the massage parlor, go get your Asian girl, you know what I mean? You know, that's what they do, right? But in the truth, we learn differently. You know what I mean? We know our history. We know the path that we need to take, the path of our fathers. You know what I mean? Let's go to John 15, 12, and 14, Baba Kashar. Salaka, anybody else on the line?
Salakia, sir, I'm still here.
Okay, Most High in Christ, the water says.
This book of John, chapter 15, verse 12. This is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you. Verse 13. Greater love have no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends.
Most High in Christ, the water. No greater love than this, you know what I mean, that a man lay down his life for his friends. You know what I'm saying? That is brotherhood. That is sisterhood. We learn about, today, we learn about Marvel, superheroes, comics, DC comics. Some folks watch anime. You want to be Sailor Moon for Halloween, you know, like little kids in the world. Back in the day, of course. You know what I mean? They want to watch Bleach, Naruto. They want to be the Hokage. You want to be cool. And you know what I mean? The real heroes are in the I.S.U.P.K. I say give the brothers a hand. You know what I'm saying? And the sisters, you know what I mean? Because the real Wonder Woman exists in the Bible. You know what I mean? Way before so-called Diana, the Wonder Woman, we had Judith. We had sisters like Judith, Esther, Susanna, you know what I mean? So many. Deborah, or Deborah in the Hebrew, you know what I mean? Had incredible powers, had faith, had principles, you know what I mean, morals, code of honor. And it ain't like what you see today. Justice is blind. This woman is, I remember this statue in Philadelphia, this so-called lady of justice. She has two scales, one on the left, one on the right, but one is, it's not even balanced though. One is weighing down, one is up, right? She's blindfolded, and one nipple was out. Like, what the hell that got to do with justice? You know what I'm saying? We have people or sisters with courage, you know what I mean, that you can learn from in the Bible. You know what I mean? Like, and furthermore, they had their clothes on. Okay, no tattoos, Salakia. You know what I mean? You want brothers like Maccabee, Judas Maccabees. You know what I mean? It's so many, right? But that's the true Marvel superheroes. That's the marvelous Hebrew heroes. Okay, and as we know, what happened in the past, those who have lived and walked on earth in the past are walking today. They're right amongst you, you know, under commanding General Yahanna, I.S.U.P.K. You know what I mean? The mighty men above me, you know what I mean? That's the shepherds that's going to guide the flock into the righteous path. You know, you get with a politician, you follow a politician, or you want to follow some crazy dude on Instagram, you want to follow his or her every move, like, oh, he's eating sushi today. Maybe I should eat some sushi. I should eat some squid and some gefilte fish, right? Nah, you don't want to do that. You don't want to follow them. You know what I mean? Because where they're going to lead you is a place you don't want to go. Okay, you're gonna find out the hard way, you know, about the long goodbye, the bad way. Okay, and the Lord, He don't want that for us. He don't want that for His children. You know what I mean? So, like you. Now, verse 17 says, "These things I command you, that ye love one another." It ain't hard. You know what I mean? I know a lot of us follow Jay-Z or whatever. I mean, you know, it's good music. Don't get me wrong. I like the brother. But in one verse, Jay-Z said, "It's hard not to kill a nigga. It's like a full-time job not to kill a nigga." What's a nigga to do? I mean, that's how it's like in the world. You know what I mean? It's the lust to slay your own brother is just unbelievable. You step in a brother's shoes, he's gonna put two in your brain, and he's gonna put two in your woman who's twerking on you. He don't give a damn. And after he kill you and your girl, he'll write a song about it, right? He gonna do a little mumble rap. You know, that's just how it is in the world. You know what I mean? And we thank the Most High for the truth. UPK, we are taught how to handle these situations. This is, you know, conflict resolution. Because ain't no way you're gonna live out here. We out here in Decatur, Georgia. You know, this folks in New York, where I'm from, Brooklyn, you in Bushwick, wherever you at. You know what I mean? You're gonna face some conflict. You're gonna face some challenges. It ain't gonna be easy. It's gonna be tough sometimes. But you can do it. Okay? And it's our job, just like our forefathers, to teach you how to manage these situations, conflicts, and challenges that may arise in your everyday life. Okay? So, Lucky, let's go to Ezekiel 33 and 8. Shah.
Yeah, 33 and 8.
Khan.
Book of Ezekiel, chapter 33, verse 8. While I say unto the wicked, O wicked man, thou shalt surely die, if thou dost not speak to warn the wicked from his way. The wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thy hand.
Damn right. You know what I mean? It's our job here to warn you. You know what I mean? To show you the way, to point out the path. You know, if you know the wicked, they don't sleep. You know, they're out here 24/7. They're on their grind, on their hustle. They're hungry, and you are on the menu, okay? Because they're not about live free and live and let live. Freedom, happiness, joy, holding hands, you know, peace. They're gonna tell you peace, but this devil, as soon as you turn around, a knife is in your back. He's laughing and smiling, chuckling, and saying, "Sucker, I got you." Right? We don't want that. I don't want that. You know what I mean? Not for our family, our friends, our children, loved ones. And that's why we follow the law. Okay? This right here is your constitution. Black man, native, Hispanic, you know what I mean? Man and woman. That's your constitution. That's your constitution. That's your way of life. It's your laws. It tells you how to walk, how to talk, how to eat. It even teaches you how to make fried chicken. Where else are you gonna find that at?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we should come out of her, my people, because the ways of this oppressor is death. And none of us want to die. Salakia. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 15 and 34. Baba Kashar.
Book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 15, verse 34. Awake to righteousness, and sin not, for some have not the knowledge of the Most High. I speak this to your shame.
Most High in Christ. Awake to righteousness. He ain't talk, you know what I mean? Everybody talk about being woke. Well, we've been woke since 1969. I.S.U.P.K. started in 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. You know what I mean? We got schools all over the place. Man, I wouldn't be surprised if we got a school in the moon. All right? Right in that mountain. You know what I'm saying? So we've been woke, right? And the Lord teaches you to stay awake, stay focused, be on your best game, because it ain't no game out here. You know what I mean?
Like you, sir.
Khan says,
So my other one and I had this conversation just earlier today. He absolutely hates when people in the world say that's not their truth, say, stay woke or they
in Christ. The water for that, sis. You know what I mean? If everybody think they know what it means to be woke, everybody has, what they say? Your truth. I'm just trying to speak my truth. I'm just trying to talk my truth. You know what I mean? Everybody is trying to be woke. They trying to be conscious. Man, this dude's out here in a coma talking about, man, I'm conscious, blood. I'm conscious, but they not. You know what I mean? You know, following our Constitution, the laws, statutes, and commandments, we learned, we found out what the truth really is. You know what I'm saying? What it means to be awake, right? Because you're fully able to see, your senses are alert. You know what I'm saying? Because when things happen, because, you know, Commander General Yahanna foretold many, many years ago what's going on right now, following, you know what I mean, the prophets, priests and prophets before us have written, you know what I mean, what's going on in these school situations, these mass casualty events, the supermarkets, public places, these people going to hospitals and shooting it up. We know, because we see, you know what I mean? We see the patterns. We know the spirit of these people and what they provoke us, our people, to do in our time of need. Because we hungry out here. Like today, like I saw this crazy driver. Man, it was many of them. There's so many of them today. The spirit is out there. And I'm driving, I'm a little, I'm like, man, what's wrong with this cat? He's driving crazy. Happened 3, 4, 5 times on my way here. But at the same time, I'm aware that family, that guy has a family to feed, or that lady has a job she has to go to, and her boss is mistreating her. She used to pay $3 for some milk. Now she's paying $5, $6, $7. I was looking at Walmart app the other day trying to buy some water. I don't like Deer Park. Deer Park is like the worst type of water out there. Tastes like they intentionally put dirt in it, and they filtered dirt. I like Crystal Geyser. I'm looking at some Crystal Geyser on a Walmart app. I'm looking around, I'm browsing, and I see like 24 bottles for like $27. I almost dropped my phone. I'm like, and so this is what our people are dealing with. You know what I mean? They're driving crazy, which is no excuse, because you could get pulled over, get a ticket, you could be taken to jail for reckless driving, or Lord forbid, you get into a car accident or get shot. I was at maintenance the other day, tire shop, doing some work on, the maintenance on a vehicle, and I met this guy from Boston, right? And he told me that a few months ago he was like scared for his life. This was one day after the school shooting. He told me he was scared for his life. I'm like, hey man, what's going on? What's going on, sir? Talking to him and all that. And he was, saying that somebody cut him off. He just drove up to the person to see who it is and why, because they was at a light or what have you. And the person rolled out the window and aimed a gun at him. He was shocked. You know what I mean? These are things that happen. And of course, it's wrong. You know what I mean? You can cut somebody off and get shot. Happens all the time. You know what I mean? So when the dude cut me off, or sister, whoever it was who cut me off today, I'm thinking it was a few crazy drivers. I know it's wrong. You should not do it. at the same time, I realize they're under a lot of pressure and they don't have the truth. Thank the Most High for the truth, because that's what allows you to handle these crazy situations. I didn't plan for it. I didn't think about it. I wasn't, you know what I mean? But when it happened, I'm like, okay, I understand. You know what I mean? Because obviously it makes no sense to speed up, cut someone off, and then press on your brakes just to be at the red light. So obviously there's wrong with this person. I'm not driving, I'm not trying to honk at you. I used to in the world. I roll down my window and give you a little bird, a little finger, salute, peace. Might scream at them, whatever, right? That's what New Yorkers do. Well, that's what I did at the time. But I realized, nah, I'm not today. I ain't doing that. You know, so they put so much pressure on us, the gas, the bills, you know what I mean? There's one couple in Florida, I think they were paying like $1,800 for rent. Somebody buys her house, and now they're paying like $3,000. You know what I mean? Just like that, 30-day notice. And people are angry. They're fed up. Like an old quote from years ago, it said, "I'm mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take it anymore." And that's how people feel. We understand. Don't get us wrong. We understand. We feel your pain, because we're in pain too. You know what I mean? Because oppression maketh a wise man angry. So, oh, Salakia, who's this? Come on in. Hey, Shalom, Lord in Christ, what's going on with you? Most High in Christ, Most High in Christ. You got something you want to drop in, or you want to somebody wants to comment?
I was just checking in, son.
All right, Most High in Christ, the water for that.
I got a while.
You know, it's hard out here for our people. We're not blind to your pain. You know, like I believe it was Queen Elizabeth who said to the starving and suffering of her people, let them eat cake. That's how these, you know, elites, so-called rulers, masters of the world, the illuminated ones, to have so much power and rich and wealth that they just look down upon us. You know what I mean? But we here at the school, there's brothers and sisters doing good. There's people with businesses, houses, families, you know, doing well. I know a few brothers in New York making over 6 figures. They're not looking down on people. They go to camp every week or when they can. Try to fish the people in. Try to give them that word. Drop them gems and jewels, so to speak. Or what was it? Educate? I don't know what the word is. Edufy? Whatever. But we teach the people.
Educate.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So many, bro, I gotta keep up, man. I'm getting like an old man now. So like, but you know what I mean? It's so many things they could do. You know what I mean? Brothers doing well, and sisters will have restaurants. You know what I mean? But we choose to serve the Lord's people. You know what I mean? The blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We bring you the word every day, Monday to Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Right? Got Sabbath on Saturdays. Go to camp. You know what I mean? Do the work of the Lord. Donate. Pay your tithes. Don't forget, pay your tithes. Okay? Because you gotta support the truth in any way you can. You know what I mean? Not everybody, is gonna be a priest, an officer, or a trooper who's gonna come to the school. You know what I mean? To put in, but you can put in your brick by paying your tithes, donate, You know what I mean? ISUPK.com. Offer your donations. Yes, we take corn too. If you have bushels of corn, tares of wheat, we will take it as well. If you have a warehouse, you want to donate or, let us use for operations, you have trucks, pickup trucks or 18-wheelers with goods or empty, we can use it. You know what I mean? You have land, you want to donate, you want to, invest in your brother, invest in your sisters, okay? But you put all your nest egg, you put your savings into the stock market, and every few years you're gonna lose money, unless you're real good, you're inside trader, but you're not gonna tell us. I understand, you know what I mean. But odds are, you know what I mean. You don't want to go out there and lose your money just trying to do any type of thing. But you invest in ISUPK.com, hit that PayPal button, it's Zelle, many ways, Cash App, your brothers, you know what I mean? You can donate food. There's many ways you can help the brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to John 13:34. Baba Kushar. It's John 13:34. If anyone got it, let us know.
It's most high still online.
Salakia, Mawasar, are you able to read? All right.
John what?
13:34.
But John chapter 13, verse 34, a new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another, as I love you, that ye also love one another.
Most High in Christ. It's a commandment that we love one another. It's not hard, it's not grievous, it's not impossible. You know what I mean? We do it every day. Sometimes without even thinking about it. It becomes so natural. But, however, when you get caught trying to be like your oppressor, trying to follow his ways, then the love could dissipate. It goes away. It ain't there like it used to be. And as a result, our lives, it suffers, it's lacking. It ain't what it could be. It's strife and turmoil, fights, battles, ego, or what have you. You know what I'm saying? Just because of lack of love. That is our mission in life. You know what I mean? To teach the people. You know what I mean? Show the people the way. Okay, as we were commanded. And this is it's a commandment. It's not a suggestion. You know what I mean? It's not what maybe, perhaps you could or should do. Because you can't love the Most High whom you have never seen. You know what I mean? You know, if you can't even love your brother, your sister, who you see every single day, who's in the trenches with you. You know what I mean? They're on the line. We are going through it. You know, it's a lot of us, especially growing up, developing our minds, teenagers. We think that we are the only ones going through this pain, this situation that you're going through, whatever it is. We feel that we are the only one. Nobody else has dealt with this before, and if I don't get drugs or weed or drink or alcohol or whatever kind of thing you're trying to do, if you don't get it, right, you're gonna die, or you're gonna kill yourself, or whatever, right? That's not the solution, okay? Because as we know here, for the men above us, we are taught that there's nothing new under the sun. You know, what was once before is now and will be. It's a continual cycle. It's a revolution. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing new. Even people, ain't no people who are new. There's some pictures I'm seeing. You see this person from 1924 or some old picture, 1950, and today you see someone that looks just like them. You say, hey man, you remind me of somebody, right? It's nothing new, all right? Our spirits, once we leave the earth, you know what I mean, we come back. Lord willing, we come back. Ain't nothing new. You know what I mean? Whatever you're dealing with, you call the I.S.U.P.K, the School of U.P.K. You know, we have counselors with experience. You know, we learn from the wisdom of our forefathers, and we make that skill, we make that, you know what I mean, benefit available to you, that privilege. Okay, pay your tithes. Don't forget, pay your tithes. We have jobs, we have bills, we got things that, you know what I mean, that we got to take care of as well. So we are not the Christian church. We don't have any G4 private jets. Ain't nobody chauffeuring me to church, to school. You know what I mean? It's we just everyday people. You know, we're chosen to obey the call, right? Because many are called, you know, few are chosen, but even less obey the call, right? So call your local school, call your school leader, captain, and whatnot, right? So now don't forget, and ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, get yourself a KJV, a King James Version Bible, 1611. You know what I mean? You can find it on Amazon or what have you. That's why I got mine. Get yours from wherever you like, with the Apocrypha. You know what I mean? Don't get the watered down version, you know, like the NIV, and they're changing the verses, removing books. It just, you know, it's not the original translation. Get yourself a KJV 6 and 11 with the Apocrypha in it. All right, Salakia. Now let's get first Maccabees 2 and 17, Baba Kushah.
Maccabees 2 and 17.
Come.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 2, verse 17. Then answered the king officers and said to Matthias, on this wise, thou art a ruler and an honorable and great man in this city, and strengthen it with sons and brethren.
Most High in Christ. You know what I mean? These, the men before us, you know what I mean? What we're taught in the Bible is about our true history, our true past, our true path. You know, these men, and as we talked before, women too, you know what I mean, were great. No, you're talking about like women's liberation and all this stuff, but we had, you know what I mean, women who were like superheroes way before this new age stuff, right? We had brothers who were superheroes, heroes, like brother Maccabees, you know what I mean? And the story is so incredible, it's so powerful that you're not allowed you're not allowed to read this book in prison, because it's going to give your spirit such a feeling of hope. They don't want that. They're scared that, you know what I mean, you're going to overtake the prison and escape or whatever. That's how powerful this book is. You know what I'm saying? Now, if we go to 20, First Maccabees 2 and 20, it says, yet will I, my sons, and my brethren walk in the covenant of our fathers. You know what I mean? No, despite what's going on, yet will I walk, right? So we can't have no excuses. You know, it's hard for everybody. You know what I'm saying? But still walk in the path of your ancestors. Okay, the best way you can. You know, you could support the truth in any way that you're able to. You know what I mean? Like we were talking about earlier, you know, like being born a certain way, right? If you go to, you know, you learn about history of before 1973, we didn't have this so-called thing called abortion, right? We were not killing our babies like we are today. You know what I'm saying? And like millions and millions. It's crazy, right? And they say, oh, it's natural, it's okay, that's your health care. But were we born that way? We weren't born that way. We were taught, right? But this so-called oppressor, you know what I mean? This so-called women's freedom movement, the lib, it said you can be free. It's your body. You have the right to abort your child, right? Now it's so common. We don't even think about it. It's a shame that a lot of our people, we get abortions like we get a Happy Meal at a drive-through. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be that way. It's unfortunate. Are we born that way? We are taught. We follow the ways of our oppressors. You know, we, so to speak, drink the wine of Babylon, right? And we get the fruit that she produces, and we become sick as a result, right? But if we follow the ways of the men before us, you know what I mean? Sisters gotta have heroes, You can have sisters you look up to, like Deborah, Judith, Esther, you know what I mean? Who we have feast days. We have feast days celebrating these incredible sisters who have done incredible, saved the world, saved the nation of Israel, put their lives on the line. And we celebrate feast days. We'll take 7 whole days to party, dance, rejoice. You know what I'm saying? So we don't, and people say, oh no, we UPK, hurt sisters, we talk bad, we're mean, or whatever nonsense that they're saying right now. But thousands of years ago, we had celebrations, feast days. You look at the calendar back in that day, okay, boom, we celebrate what Esther did. We celebrate what all his sisters did. You know what I mean? It ain't like today what they have. Oh, they have Women's Day, where they can talk about, oh, killing your baby, right? That's what they call a heroine or a female superhero, right? But that ain't that. That's the other thing. Okay, we here at the UPK, we teach and learn, we study, about the true heroes, you know what I mean, in the Bible. Slack you. Let's go to Judith 5:20, Baba Kushar.
It's the book of Jude, chapter 5, verse 20. Now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error against this people, and they sin against their God, let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them.
Most High in Christ, the water of the one. They know our secrets. They know how to destroy us. You know what I mean? They know our so-called kryptonite. Okay? And that is sin. Being unbrotherly. Saying, oh, I'm born this way. No, you ain't. Okay? We were taught that we were born this way to be imperfect creatures. But the truth teaches us that we can be perfect in the law, you know what I mean, and in the ways of the book. Okay, you too can be perfect, right? Most High in Christ, but we follow the ways of our oppressor, and we do what we fall into the trap. Right? And by falling into their trap, you know what I'm saying, we destroy ourselves. We bring ourselves to ruin. Okay? Because they know if we start sinning, we breaking the laws, like I was saying earlier, you see beautiful sisters putting tattoos all over their face, ruining the natural beauty, the natural use of a woman. I see people walking around looking like, their son or their daughter was drawn on a coloring book. Right? Well, I'm in an 80s movie watching this movie called, now folks, if folks remember this, movie called The Warriors. Mm-hmm. Right? People clashing and fighting and battling out. You know what I mean? Chains, bottles, weapons, all types of, you know what I mean? And that's what I see a sister, I see a brother tattooed up. I'm looking at the Warriors. And I'm thinking in my mind, I'm sitting at a traffic light watching them walk around and do their thing. I'm thinking in my mind, like these sisters would, back in the day, they would have been in a movie with 2 bottles in the hand, talking about warriors, come out and play. It looks so weird, man. You know what I'm saying? But, for those in the truth, you can change your path, you can change your way, you can get it removed if you want. But, we treat you the same, because we know you didn't know. It's not your fault. If you have that, it's all good, it's too wild. But for those in the world who's going to keep doing it and just doing all types of wickedness, as we just learned about, in Judith here, they know our weakness. And we help the oppressor to oppress us, okay? By sinning, by being unbrotherly, being unsisterly, we are being led down the path of destruction, to ruin, okay? And we don't want that, okay? Now, we here at the UPK, the School of Universal Practical Knowledge, we're here to show you the path, show you the way, where you don't have to do that no more. You can change. We change. I change. You know what I mean? There's people in here who's criminals, thugs, what have you. You know what I'm saying? But we, under command of General Yahanna, you know what I'm saying? We, other than men above us, we change. You know what I'm saying? And you can change too. All right. And with that, I pass the class to Priest and Officer Napash Kaya.
This is I.S.U.P.K security announcements. With I.S.U.P.K start on 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother and sister come to the school, they are living for 6 months. They are here to be saluted only. They are here to save themselves of the world. If they need transportation, a teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother and sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, and the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. My I.S.U.P.K, that means 10 in the Hebrew. 10% of every penny increase the Lord gives you. Give to the church department or teacher. Priest fund. Bureau offer for priest not mandatory. Whatever amount you would like to give. The next upcoming case is going to be the Memorial of the Blowing Trumpets. It's going to be December 25th, Sunday, sundown. Remind Akim and Awakim to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If any brother wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirt, pant, headband, and a scarf. And make sure you go to his address every time you come to the school. It helps build address for school. And the address is 3353 Glenmore Road, Decatur, Georgia. That is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. And with that, we'll give one curse salute to the teacher. Mid Israel, I.S.U.P.K. Almighty, Ra, Yahweh Shem Yahshabakatah.
Yahweh Shem Yahshabakatah.
Why I said to you in the Lashwan Kadash, may the Most High in the name of Christ bless you. Y'all gonna talk me hands down. We also gonna give one curse salute to the sister online. Mid Israel, I.S.U.P.K. Almighty, Ra, Yahweh Shabbat Eltham Bashem Yahshai. Why I said to the sister online, may the Most High watch over you in the name of Christ. Y'all done taught me hands down, class dismissed.